about 3 years ago, during the tenure of the last board, we had issues, we met with them, and the chairman at that time apologized to Edo people for the unfair way NDDC has treated Edo State. At that meeting, they admitted that the completion rate of projects in Edo, at the time we did an analysis, was less than 15%. So we thought that having that realization, things would change. But it didn't. In fact, the last regime of emergency contracts was an insult. It was very criminal what NDDC did. And please, no contractor should be paid in Edo State on any of those so-called emergency contracts, because you'll have an opportunity to go through some of these so-called, particularly the road contracts. It's really sad that this is us in the Niger Delta doing this to ourselves. That this fund was supposed to develop the region. We now resorted to making it a political slush fund over the last decade or more. It's just unacceptable. It's wicked. And that we have Edo people in your commission sitting down as management to see this sort of rape on Edo State, I think is really, really sad. Really, really sad. And we feel very, very strongly about NDDC here. Because we had to stop your contractors at one point from working in Edo State. I have stopped, particularly the road contractors. Because how can you come into a territory, you come with your designs, you don't clear it, you don't integrate it with that of our local ministries, you bring in contractors, we don't know, when they come in, they go to sites and they just start to work without reference to our plans on ground. You just can't develop a region that way. So for us, we cannot paper over the cracks. The deputy represented me in the meeting with the president. I've had 3 meetings with the president before this incident to complain that this intervention fund, from NDDC, is just not working, at least not for us. I know how much we have done with the little we get from a Sopadec. There are only 33 oil producing communities, and we know how much we've used, how much intervention we have used that for. Not to talk about the so-called billions that is supposed to be our allocation from NDDC. Yes, welcome, thank you for pushing for the advisory council meeting of governors. We'll be there and we'll tell ourselves the home truth. The truth is that the governance arrangement of NDDC, top to bottom, cannot develop the region. Let us not paper over the cracks. Its DNA is corruption. It's just embedded. Because you come in here, we see how your contracts are traded. We know how much premiums are paid on NDDC contracts to be sold, bought and sold here. How can you be awarding contracts for contracts to be executed in Edo State, in Port Harcourt, without any reference to Edo people? It's just not done. I don't know what has happened before now, but under my tenure, it's just not going to be acceptable. But knowing the sort of person you are, knowing your pedigree, and I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, and you have the courage for us to face these issues head on. I chair the committee on crude oil theft. And what is going on in our region, if we do not put a halt to it, we will finish ourselves, we'll be decimated. And the whole country is in awe. We're like a jest. What do you do with your 13% derivation, new governors? Please leave us. And truly, what have we done with our money? Don't let them deceive you. These things they are saying they want to come and donate to us as Lisa, they've tried it before. Some of them are expired. We're not going to touch them. 2 or 3 years ago, we set up an NDDC committee in Edo. So we had already also have our reports. So we will sit with you, and go through and work with you. So you've got to go down and drill down to understand what has happened. And people must be held culpable. I have said it. If people don't go to jail, we're not going to resolve this. Both management, the contractors, everybody who has been responsible for the fraud in NDDC must be made to pay for it. It's wicked because this is a crime against your own people in your own region. It's not right. It's not right. So we want to thank you, we want to welcome you, I want to assure you that Edo is different.
Let me apologize to His Excellencies who would withdraw that Lassa fever vaccines immediately. We cannot put the people of the Niger Delta at risk. And in fact, I will immediately contact the governor of Imo State where we also donated the Lassa fever. I think that for us to have one beneficiary per ward in the 9 states of the Niger Delta, to be recognized spread to those living especially in the rural communities, and for us to apologize to ourselves, to our governors, to Mr. President, that the Niger Delta region from January will be the safest part of Nigeria. So not to take your time, we will be very willing to partner and work with you. I want to say, Excellency, I know that you might have been very disappointed with the NDDC, but this is a new improved NDDC. And sit there as the MD of NDDC. I want to assure you that every kobo will be accounted for. And I want to assure you also that the forensic audit will be done without fear or favor. I want to assure the people of the Niger Delta that the rural communities will know that there is a commission called the NDDC. And I wish you and all Edo indigenes a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.